This your boy didn't know about back with another video. Say man, I was wrong about the Mavericks. I was wrong. I can admit when I'm wrong. I do think they legit contenders. Before I get into the video, say man, follow me on Bleacher Report. Follow me on Threads. Let's get these basketball conversations going because there's been a lot of stuff going on in the NBA community, basketball community, where I'm really not really talking about basketball. I just want people, like-minded people I could talk basketball with. Now let's look at the Mavericks. Now, I had this video where I said the Mavericks had the most overrated trade deadline in the NBA. And I want to walk some of that back, but I still stand on some of them things I said. Now, the whole reason why I thought they had the most overrated trade deadline in the NBA was because of who they brought in and the price in which they had to pay. Now, the Mavericks brought in Daniel Gafford for a first round pick, and I'm really not too mad about that. I mean, it is what it is. My biggest problem with the Mavericks trade was the Seth Curry first round pick and Grant Williams for PJ Washington, and I didn't like that because I thought Grant Williams was better than PJ Washington, and for you to attach a first round pick to him, I thought that was crazy. Um, and look at Grant Williams; he's doing his thing right now in Charlotte. The Mavericks and the Mavericks fans seem to be happy with PJ. Um, but so I can admit I was wrong there because I just was looking at it from an asset standpoint, what the Mavericks pay standpoint, and I neglected the fact of what those two guys brought in terms of just the on the court product and just not looking at it through a GM lens or whatever, just purely basketball. I kind of ignored some of that. So I could walk some of that back. And I think it was just an addition by subtraction because it don't seem like nobody liked Grant Williams on the Mavericks or within the Mavericks organization. We seen the Kyrie video. It's one of my favorite. It was one of my favorite basketball moments of the year. But I thought that was hilarious. Now let's talk about the game. I just watched the Phoenix Suns and the Mavericks game. It was on TNT. It was a big game. Now I understand it was no Bradley Beal in the game before, even though the Mavericks look different. The game they played, the Suns won. Devin Booker went off. Bradley Beal had a decent game, and they didn't even look like they needed Kevin Durant. But this was a new look Mavs versus a Suns team without Bradley Beal. So the thing I really got from this game was the Mavericks have everything they need to really, really contend. And when I say they have everything they need to contend, they have two legit scoring superstars. Scoring superstars, two of them. When you look at Luka Doncic and what he did, bro, I think Luka Doncic, I'm just gonna go on and say it. Pound for pound, Luka Doncic is the best player in the league. And the only person I can say that's better than Luka Doncic, if we just being honest, is Nikola Jokic. But Giannis, no, give me Luka. It is what it is. It is what it is. He's more skilled. He can do more things. It just is what it is. He's just as aggressive. It is what it is. Joel Embiid, it's not even close. The only thing Joel Embiid got over Luka is just sheer size. Sheer size. The sheer size advantage. That's the only thing Joel Embiid got over Luka. Everybody else, nah. SGA, I love SGA, but nah. Uh Tatum, nah. Book, nah. KD at this point, nah. Steph, nah. No, nobody. The only person that has an argument against Luka Doncic for being the best player in the league is Nikola Jokic. I have elevated him over Giannis Antetokounmpo, and I elevated him over Joel Embiid. Don't get me wrong; those two are still great, but say, man, they just give me Luka, bro. But let's get to the game. So Luka and Kyrie, they went off. They went 11 for 19 from three. They both was efficient. Luka was 14 for 27. Kyrie was 11 for 18. Luka had 41. Kyrie had 29. Now, the thing that just made this just really work outside of just those two dudes being super scorers and they're efficient and they're closers is the fact that They have a real life supporting cast around them. Now, when I say supporting cast, it's like positional size and locked in designated roles. When I was watching the game, I was just watching Josh Green hit open three after the open three. I was watching um I was watching Tim Hardaway come in and have his moments, even though he shot bad from three. He shot terrible from three. But he had a couple moments getting to the rack and just doing little things here and there. PJ Washington hit that open three. He took it off the dribble a couple times. It's just the positional size to match up with anybody in the league. That's what you got when you brought in PJ and Gafford. You got a 6 man of the year candidate in Tim Hardaway that on any given night could be your second to third option. Um, I think Josh Green is one of the most underrated players on this team. And I think he's going to be one of the most important come playoff time because he's a big body wing. They can move his feet, guard, and I believe in the shooting. I believe in the shooting. I believe in Josh Green shooting, his connective piece moments where he gets off the ball and he just helps the flow of the offense and he helps flow the defense and transition, all that. That's another thing. I felt like the Mavericks scored in transition a lot more than we are used to seeing. Both teams shot great, so I worry about the rebounding a little less just because of the personnel that the Mavericks have now. But because they only had 39 rebounds against the Suns. But I'm taking into consideration the Suns shot well, the Mavericks shot well. Um, and so I didn't look too much into the rebound in this game. I trust the rebounding, but the fast break numbers is kind of what stood out to me. The Mavericks can get out and run a little bit now. The Mavericks can get out and run a little bit now. The pace can be picked up. Derek Lively can run the floor. PJ can run the floor. We know Kyrie can run the floor. Luka likes to slow it down, but he can push the pace and get it to the guys that can move in the open floor. So I do like that. So I think they're getting more transition buckets, and I think the rebound has gotten better, all because the depth they have. And Kleber's healthy. The health is one of the biggest things too. Kyrie is back. Kleber's back. Um, and on top of that, you added guys with positional size. So I think that's real when it comes to the Mavericks. Now, I still have concerns. And my concerns for the Mavericks going forward, because I do want to see what they look like against Cleveland. Cleveland is a big team. They got real big guys in the front court, and then they got guards you have to guard in the back court. Darius Garland and Donovan Mitchell can get buckets, and then you have bigs and Jared Allen and Evan Mobley who can muck things up in the paint and control the board. So I'm very interested in that. So I'm still reserving certain things to say about the Mavericks until that game, but another concern I have, Luka's still complaining. That's neither here nor there. Kyrie is still a wild card, both health wise and just, anything can happen with him. So that's still up in the air. But one of my biggest concerns is PJ Washington shooting, bro. PJ Washington has been shooting terribly. He's been shooting terribly, bro. Let's just keep it a buck. PJ Washington, even coming in, he wasn't a knockdown shooter. He wasn't a knockdown shooter. And we know that. And that's one of my biggest things with him is he gonna be able to knock down shots in the draft. I mean, I see it in the draft, in the playoffs. Is he gonna be able to knock down shots in the playoffs? Because people are just gonna eventually just stop guarding them, bro. They're just gonna eventually stop guarding them. That's gonna really determine a lot of these things, man. When you get these teams that'll be able to guard Luka, be able to guard Kyrie, or one of them is having a bad night, getting double, and the other one's getting double teamed, and you have to kick it out, spread out the shooters. PJ Washington, he's been shooting 22% for three. He's been shooting 22% for three since he's been with the Mavericks, and before that, he was shooting 31 for 32% with the Hornets. So I think that's one of my biggest concerns. But other than that, I was wrong. I was wrong about the Mavericks. I do think they can legit contend. When you got a guy that's arguably the best player in the league, then you got arguably the second best Robin in the league who's proven as a Robin in Kyrie Irving. Yeah, I can't underestimate them no more. Then they got the actual depth. They have a 6 man of the year candidate, Tim Hardaway, Then they got positional size everywhere. I was wrong about the Mavericks. They can contend. And this Phoenix game just showed me these dudes say, man, they can even keep up with prolific scorers like Devin Booker and Kevin Durant. They made it hard on Kevin Durant. Kevin Durant looked like he was having a rough time. He was sitting on the ground fixing his shoe, like all that type of stuff. It matters, man. That positional size really popped off the screen to me watching that game, and I was wrong. But let me know how y'all feel in the comments. Make sure you like, comment, subscribe. I'm out.
Found some shit I love to do, so I can look comfortable. Searching for a peace of mind. Need that when it's time to rhyme. Perfect in every line. Any chance I get, and I know it takes time, but I will never quit.